Today is February 1st, 2026. A lot of people are scattered. Today I was in Alliance and a couple other places. North Canton. People were talking about that Henry Moffey. At one point, people today were saying him telling everyone he was going out with all these women to prove to her that it was crazy crap, that he didn't want her, and he was going to go out with other women and was making up all these excuses. And nobody found it funny when they found out I had never even met him in person, that he made up all this for people's attention, and that he looks like he's got something wrong with him. Told you, his whole face caved in. Looks like he has AIDS or severe drug problem. Uncapped, beard's clear up in here, face caved in, and that he went out with all those women. He probably got some, and no one said a word to her. He was making up all kinds of stuff to go out with all those women and for other people's attention. Okay. Over the last couple of nights, there was some lady outside, and I could hear her talking real loud. She's like, I found out that doctor from before wasn't even a doctor. Well, I extremely doubted he was. It's just some guy Dave hired on his own. Well, you knew that in 23, honey. April 6, 23. He told Danny that. It's just some guy he hired on his own. And she was saying how that they think it was just some drug dealer. And that it was drug dealers doing that. Well, the police have already told you that repeatedly. And it was a drug cartel. You know, that's where people really need to check credentials. It was on Google. Some guy impersonated an FBI agent trying to get somebody out of jail. He's in jail. These people impersonated FBI agents, doctors, attorneys, prosecutors' office, you name it. People really need to check credentials. Portage County sheriffs, judges. And it was just a cartel. And that lady was out when she was outside. She's like, we seen what she wrote, that you have to have physical proof and evidence the person actually did it. You can't just drug them and tell them to say it. Duh. Are you some kind of brain dead crackhead? Seriously. I had a dog bite in 24. Okay. I called a personal injury attorney. She said, before we can even open a case, she said you have to have so much to open it. She said, first of all, you have to have proof you're injured. Did you take pictures of the injuries? Yes. Did you go to the hospital? You had to went to the hospital. I said, yes. They documented the same injuries where you took pictures of it. Yes. Did they, and you notified the police? I said, yes. I need how you notified, who you talked to, and the dog warden was notified. I said, yes. She said, okay. Now that you've got a hospital report, police report, dog bite report, pictures of injuries that back the injuries from the hospital and the treatment for the injuries, you now proved you had an injury. You don't have all that. You can't say you had an injury. Now you have to prove responsibility. I said, well, I had a witness. That's not good enough. We'll take the witness, but it's not good enough. I said, well, I made a phone call right outside the home. I called my boss immediately right before he pulled out. Another neighbor see me. Still didn't prove responsibility. You'll have to have physical proof to prove that person or animal personally hurt you. Physical proof. I said, well, I still have the coat where it bit through it, teeth marks. It's got its DNA on it, where it bit through my arm, and so I actually have the dog slobber still on my coat where it latched on. She went, "Okay, now you prove responsibility," because they could always say another dog bit you. It wasn't theirs. She said, "Until you prove all that, you don't even have a case." See, the only thing these people have is basically a roofie, where they were breaking in, stabbing me with hypnotic drugs, they drugged me and told me to say horrible stuff, where I thought it was a dirty well water giving me cancer. We had orange well water. Took us a couple months to get a water treatment system in there. And we bring in bottled water to cook and drink. And, but you have to take a fast shower. You have to wash your hands after you use the bathroom. And by the second week, I got orange-sized bruises, lemon, grapefruit size. They were huge, deep ones. I've got them all over me. I'm throwing up, severe personal infection. The only thing new to me is bathing in that well water. I'm going to my community health in Canton, right behind Altman Hospital. And I'm telling them that I think it's the dirty well water giving me cancer. And is it infecting my personal area? It's so swollen, I can't even pee. I scream when I go to the bathroom. They had to give me pills and creams, stuff for headaches, nauseousness, bruising, gave me iron pills, muscle relaxers for the pain. I had all the signs of being drugged, beaten, raped. And because I never seen her talk to anybody, nobody thought of a rapist. And I'm blaming the dirty well water. I never even had my neighbors in my home. And to find out strangers were raping me, do you know how horrifying that is to me? Do you know? How would you like to be me? See, that's where the police in North Canton had told the kids, teenagers, don't say anything to her. How would you like to be her? Never see or talk to anybody. And somebody's broke in and either laced your drink or stabbed you with a drug and told you to say something and had you beat and raped. Photoshopped washing in the shower in another room and then set off this hate crime. How would you like to be her and never seen or talk to anybody? It's scary movie shit. You could literally write a scary movie off this. Of predators preying on people in their homes. See, my ex-husband and those drug dealers thought the government was stupid. They all thought they were stupid. Where December 1st, 25, Walmart 62, an investigator came in. One of Dave's ex-girlfriends came in, Michelle, came to that investigator. He came in and announced, Michelle came and told them that these people admitted November 23rd, 25, that this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. Her ex-husband was involved. And that the doctor from before was not one of hers. He works for them and they had lied. She actually don't know who he is. Okay? And that guy Pete that was in his office running his mouth about her, she don't even know who he is. It's just some guy named Pete that Dave hired on his own. She don't even know who he is. And they admitted to using hypnotic drugs when they drugged her and told her to say it before, and she has no memory of those people from before. And they photoshopped that weird with yourself. It's washing yourself in the shower in another room. And they photoshopped everything. And it was a scam to extort money out of the government. They were going to scare me into calling the FBI, have them open a case, and they could trick an FBI agent out of money. They actually thought they could. Where Henry Moffey, January 1926, Bob Evans in Fairlawn. Yeah, I was joking around with Carl on the way up there, my husband. And he, I said, with being an FBI informant, I'm in government immunity. They need to learn they can't touch me. I said, I couldn't sleep last night and da 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 da. I said, and they need to realize that. It's illegal for a judge, an attorney, a prosecutor, anybody to try to work a case against me. I am in government immunity for helping the government get information on these people or witnessing against somebody in a federal case. You can't touch somebody in government immunity. They are a federal witness if they just got information or if they witnessed against someone. And the government protects them. They pay them. 95% of the people in them are criminals, hardened criminals and cartels, that they turn on somebody worse. And they wipe out their whole past, give them money, immunity for life, new names when everything's over, and move them so they don't kill them. Hmm? And I said, where I get mad at these people when they mock me, oh, they're going to get me. They ain't going to do shit. I mean, what they did to me, like investigators said, it's so illegal. They could never even say a word. What would you say to me? You did your job and you arrested them so they don't hurt somebody else? Seriously. There's scam of the dirty doctor of an attorney fishing for information, going to hospitals and doctors. That's a 5-year sentence and immediate loss of license if they even attempt it. If a hospital talks to them, it's loss of license for the hospital and 10 years federal for the attorney and the hospital HIPAA violations. If one of their doctors talk to them, same thing, another 10. And if they steal somebody's medical records and give it to them and they make it public, it's 10 years per occurrence. They got 35 years for that scam. See, I was even in Walmart 62 last year. Carl was with me. And some of the investigators get mad at these people and they all back at them. They said, well, they drugged her to get the truth out of her, da-da-da-da, or something stupid. They always say stupid stuff around me. And one of them yelled, that's assault with a deadly weapon. Oh, it's attempted murder, kidnapping, drug charges. Set up, the law is if attorney sets up button cameras in your home, stalking you, it's cyber stalking, sextortion, voyeurism, taking naked pictures of people without their permission. Then they admitted they took kiddie porn of my grandkids going potty and sold it on the internet. That's kiddie porn. And sex trafficking videos. And then they were drug beating, raping me. That's human trafficking under drugs. It's attempted murder. These people are looking at so many life sentences for the confession of their crimes. And that's how the law works. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements and with a court order. There's nothing else because of the 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment. The 4th Amendment, the right of the people to be safe and secure within your own person. Nobody can touch you unless you want them to. Your places, your homes, your papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches or seizures shall not be violated. No searches, no seizures, but upon probable cause warranted. You have to have a court order. With the oath or affirmation of the people or places or things to be searched and seized. You also have a right to remain quiet and a right to an attorney. And because of these 3 rights, police and agencies only under a threat of life with statements and a court order can only be in your home. Even the police and the prosecutor's office and a criminal attorney, even the FBI, would go to jail for being in my home. See, that's where the prosecutor's office said they made the biggest mistake. They did it in your home. They made another big mistake when they tried to put a doctor's name on it, where investigators said these people did not know how legal it made it to put a doctor's name on it. Everybody would go to jail. April 6, 23, after Jen's mom's memorial service, Danny walks across the parking lot. I heard him. He still don't know right now. He told Gabe, roll out. He's like, I finally went to Dad. Ask him what on earth is going on. He said he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. It was Pete and his men in our home before. Pete has a frame. Pete has their tape, the filthy, dirty statement. I've never met him. That means he has to be a black and blue mark. I've never talked to him. I don't even know who he is. It's that scary. May 30th, 25, 1 o'clock in the morning, the Louisville police are outside. And they're talking to one of the ladies in the extortion group. She said I was going to trick her out of a bunch of money. Breaking into the cops, she was going to trick me out of money. You know that's a big crime, right, honey? And I didn't know she knew surveillance laws. And she uploaded on Facebook, and I seen she knows them, so I can't trick her. I was going to trick Dixie and Melissa, put their name on it, and have them arrested over this. See where they keep promising people an endless amount of money? They're just setting people up to go to jail when they think they're going to steal it for themselves. like, leave the dumb girls alone. Okay? Said the investigators found May 26, 25 at Walmart 62. Cartel said this whole thing is a scam from Bill from the Freemasons, and the dirty doctor from before was not one of hers, works for them, and they had lied, and she don't know who he is. And this whole thing is a scam. Officer got out of his squad car and said the whole thing's a scam. She mentioned Bill from the Freemasons. Said the investigators found the original case. Said her ex-husband hired 2 men on his own. One said he was an attorney. They didn't say he was an attorney. They said he was. See, a real attorney would know better. Couldn't do any of this. See, that's where that lady said, I found out that doctor from before wasn't even a doctor. It's just some guy Dave hired on his own. Well, he hired both of them on his own. See, that's where I bet that Henry Maffey, that attorney Bill from the Freemasons, I bet he's not an attorney. Some guy that said he was an attorney. Those 2 men where they said are scamming everybody. It's just 2 guys Dave hired on his own. Officer Mark, August of 23. On a Tuesday between noon and 1 was telling a lady, none of this is funny. Said, did her ex-husband defend her? He said, yes, we taped him. So did I. Said, did anybody ever talk to her? No. Then they had to have framed her. He said, it's documented and verified. She was framed before. Was it the drug cartel? Yes, we seen them. It's documented and verified it was a medication error that made her sick before. That means medical fraud, medical malpractice, wrong meds. Didn't say allergic reaction. They said medication error. There's a difference. And that it's also documented and verified another woman was using her insurance. She's like, none of this is funny. He said, I know it's not. So it's documented and framed by the cartel. It was a cartel in my home. That's why I was being human trafficked, drug beat, and raped. What's a cartel? First Amendment, freedom of speech. Only a judge and a jury trial can put a gag order on you. If a police or an agent tries to tell an informant or a victim they cannot say anything, it is punishable by 10 to 20 years. If it is an attempt to life case or a murder case, it's 20 to 30 to life. It's tampering with a witness. You can never silence a witness. It is a federal crime. If an agent tells on a victim calling for help, it is 20 to life. If an agent tells anyone no one can help them, same thing. If an agent tries to steal the informant's money, it's 20 years to life. That's where Sheriff David Mike DeWine's cousin wanted to know if our police were slow and why didn't they arrest that agent the first day. I never got paid. I got left in hell while they got surveillance on all the cartels. The Hartville police had told someone that they were talking. The police told us that the agent had told over a case, had told them that he was only acting that way to get the drug dealers. And they got all those drug dealers. And he never paid her. And they think he stole the money. Well, they've been claiming he stole the money since 19. I'd hope not, Agent John. I'd hope not. Then, see, that's where a criminal attorney, he cannot make up his own rules. No, unlike the Stark County Prosecutor's Office, no judge can sign it. It's actually a federal crime for an agent to tell someone they can't say anything. And in my case, Agent John had already told the Apostolic Church of Barberton that I called the FBI hotline. He told them that he knew that I was being drugged, being raped, and didn't care. Acting like a crazy occult person on a recorded line the next day, admitted he had all those church people in his office, knew they were trying to kill me, and even that he didn't blame them for trying to kill me. Made fun of me for that guy Pete Dave hired on his own. I still don't know who he is. And some dirty doctor scam. Well, I had some other lady use my insurance. I found out through the case it was another girlfriend of Dave's, and they were scamming me, running up bills in my name, and I'm trying to fight them through the insurance company. And half my medical records are some other girlfriend of Dave's. And I got stuck with the copays for 15 years. Half my medical records are hers. I thought, well, maybe it's that lady that stole my ID and was using my insurance. No, it's just the whole thing's a scam. Can't put logic to a scam because it's nothing but chaos and nonsense. I like my money, Agent John. I did email the White House, ask them if they'd like an FBI case with the cartel under police surveillance. And the recorded line, how you confessed to everybody you knew and how you bullied me. And that I never got paid. And then pictures of different people that got arrested off this case and caught under police surveillance. I like my money, and I like a new name, new social for me and Carl, so we can live our lives out in peace and happiness without fear. I need a medical card, and I'd like a letter of thank you, and I'd like you to sign it. Or bypassed apologies. For you leaving me up there, I have a dent in my head. I'm losing my eyesight. I'll have to have surgery on my eyes from being hit so hard in the head, I got a dent in it. Knocked everything forward, causing fast-growing cataracts on my eyes that they can be removed, but I'll have to have surgery. Are you going blind because of an FBI case? No, I am. Were you raped and tortured? No, I was. I was up in Fairlawn last week. Some investigator, we found the rape and torture. They sold it to even children. Publicly humiliated and destroyed. Being human trafficked, people ought to have been outraged, calling the government, calling the White House, telling on all these people, and that they're getting away with it here. You get someone down here, arrest them. But people sat and laughed and thought it was funny because they offered them money. And you know what they found out? Nobody got any. They lied to them they were going to give them money. Tricked everybody into helping out, and nobody got anything. And people were willing to let somebody be murdered for a tank of gas, a blouse, a dinner, $50. I thought here in Ohio we were more educated, cared more about people, had more ethics. And it just shows how low our society has got. Do you know how many thousands of women and children were taken by the human traffickers? Do you know how many were murdered? Sold for sex slaves or body parts. Do you know how many? And the people that were doing it were breaking it with them. I had the Kingsmen from Texas, Judge Peters Group, Michigan, drug cartels, Buffalo, New York, California, breaking even what kind of drugs they were coming in here. That Michael Peterson, dealing with Trakasami, smuggling oil in here. He ended up getting arrested. This is one of their mega cases. I go up into Akron like last year. We all know Karen's Will is still open. And it's part of the FBI's nationwide human trafficking scam. It's a mega case. I gotta upload this.